Unmute. There we go. Awesome. I unmuted myself. I just want to make sure that everyone can hear me. And see me. Perfect. Thank you. So I'm just going to wait a few minutes until everyone gets on so we could start right at 6. Okay. Cool. Are you guys all excited for this demo? A few more minutes. Awesome. I'm super excited. I'm excited for you guys to learn something new. This is going to be a really good makeup routine for everyone that's always super busy in the morning, which is pretty much everyone. Two more minutes just so everyone gets on. We have quite a bit of people on. Have all my products ready to go. Hi, everyone joining now. I know we got a few more people on. We're just waiting one more minute, then we'll get started. Awesome, so let's get started. I want to start off by introducing myself. My name is Lorena, and I'm a makeup artist. I'm here today with El Maquillage too. Once you get like the hang of it, start doing it in your own routine. This really morning or every day, and I need something quick. We all don't have like an hour to do like a full glam sesh, so this is going to be something really simple to give you a very fresh face in the morning, something that'll make you feel and look more awake. I pretty much use all the products on it every day. Sometimes I'll skip one step if I don't have like enough time, but overall I pretty much do all of these. So let's get into it. The first thing I always do is apply my skincare. So after you've applied that, I like to go in with our hydrating setting spray. Now, this is amazing. You can use it before your makeup and at the end to finish off your look. I like to spray 2 pumps on my face because I like more of like a glowy look to my skin. So this is just going to give me more of that glowy look. And I just rub it on my fingers. I'm so sorry if you might hear my dog. This is his feeding time. You can see. And yes, if you have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat. I'm going to try and answer all of them, but there's also an Il Maquillage team here that will answer all your questions. So next, I'm going to take that was the hydrating setting spray. I'm not sure if it flips it. This is the spray. And now I'm going to take our smoothing primer. I love this stuff because it smooths out all my pores, especially in this area. This is going to give you a very flawless base. So I just take like 2 pumps. All you need is a little bit on my fingers. And I'll just dab it right in my T-zone. And instantly, I feel like it just blurs my skin. This is great if you have pores in those areas, a little bit of texture. Yes, this is all great for dry skin. I actually have normal to dry skin, and that's why I love spraying this spray first, because it just hydrates my skin beforehand, before going in with like foundation. So instantly this just like smooths out any pores. For an everyday, I actually like going in with all the face products first, because I feel like I need to have like an even perfected canvas first. I feel like it makes the look already complete, and then I can go in at the end and add a little bit of eyeliner, mascara, and your look is pretty much complete. This is also really great for oily skin. If you have oily skin, I would hold off on this towards the end, just because you won't need as much hydration, but this is definitely still great to use at the end to set your makeup. So now, my favorite. I love this foundation. This is the Woke Up Like This foundation. I'm shade 140 and it matches me perfectly in the summer. I personally don't like heavy foundation, so I'm just trying to read all your questions. The hydrating spray. Sorry, your questions are going so fast. Yes, so you can use the spray at the end. So with the foundation, I like to apply a brush, apply it using a brush. Where did my brush go? Okay, so I just like to do 2 pumps first on the back of my hand. And this is enough for me for a whole full face. I start off with 2 pumps first, because we can always add more. And this is the motion that I like to do. I use a buffing brush. Anything like this shape is going to give you a really flawless canvas. Sponges are great. I just prefer a brush because a sponge sometimes soaks up too much product. So this is always going to give me good coverage and enough pigment. And I like to do this motion because this is the motion that you want to apply it when you apply it on your skin. Always in a buffing motion. And by doing this, it instantly just does all the work for you. And for reference, I am shade 140, but you can always take the quiz online to find your perfect match. So I just keep buffing. And rule of thumb, I always say that if you could still see the product laying on your skin and you don't feel like it's not buffed out, just keep going over that area and just buffing it out. This is an e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush. Anything that has like a buffing and like a dome shape to it is going to work perfectly. Now I just added 1 more pump and I'm just going to add it to my cheeks. I have a little bit of redness, so I just want a little bit more coverage there, and I'll add a little bit on my forehead. So if you get oily, I'm going to show you a really great trick to keeping your makeup on all day. So now this is pretty much buffed out and we can go into concealer. It's my perfect match. I always have a hard time finding a match for my complexion because it's very olive. So I find that this is like perfect. I do a little bit of foundation right under the eyes, but I'm still going to go in with concealer. So this is our concealer. I am in the shade, what shade am I? Number 8. This is the Flawless Concealer. Now, I like a brighter under eye. If you don't, then I don't recommend going more than 2 shades for your under eye. I like a very like awake and brightened look, so I go a few shades lighter. If you don't like that look, then just stick with your regular shade or maybe a shade lighter. And what I do is I apply a few dots right under my eye. And a little bit goes a long way. So I like to apply it in like an upside down triangle because I like it very lifted. And I'll go back in with the same brush. It's actually good if you use the same brush because it already has a little bit of the foundation. So it's going to blend everything really seamlessly. And you always want to blend upwards. I love our concealer because it's so thin. A little bit goes a long way. And like I said, I do have dry skin, and this doesn't dry out my under eyes, which I love. It doesn't give me any like little creases. It's great. And you can always add a little bit more if you like a little bit more coverage. Like I'll add a little bit right here, just for a tiny bit more coverage. And what I'll actually do, since we don't have much time in the morning, I'll actually take my brush, whatever is left, go on my eyes, and this is going to act as like an eyeshadow primer if you like to do shadow in the morning. That way it just evens out any discoloration that you may have on your eyelids. So now we're all pretty much evened out. The name of the spray was our hydrating setting spray. So if you have discoloration under your eyes, I always recommend using a color corrector first, which we also have. Definitely check it out. What a color corrector will do is it will cancel out any discoloration first. So you would apply that first before the concealer, and it's typically a peachy or orange undertone depending on your complexion. And you would apply a little bit first and then apply your concealer after, and that will instantly brighten and get rid of any of the discoloration you may have. If you feel like a concealer isn't enough, definitely check out the color corrector. Now, this is going to be the most important step when doing your makeup and wanting it to last all day, especially when you're doing it very early in the morning. You want it to last. And the key is to set your makeup. I love using our translucent powder. So it's clear, it doesn't have any color to it. This is what's going to make your makeup last. Now, when you use cream products, they move. So especially under the eye, you always want to set, if you have oily skin, you always want to set your T-zone. If not, it's just going to move. So I'm just going to take whatever I have on the cap off, and then just tap it right under the eye. I love this powder because it instantly smooths out my skin and makes it last all day. Let's see what some of your questions. Whenever I apply it on clients, I do the foundation first, and then I'll do the color corrector, then concealer. This is our transparent loose powder. So it's just a clear powder. And this is great for all skin types, especially oily skin. It's very, very, very thin. That's why it works for all skin types, because it's not heavy at all. Like I said, I have dry skin and I can use it. So I just like to apply it on my T-zone very, very lightly. And you can use any type of brush for this. You can use a small brush, you can use like a big powder brush if you prefer, anything that's going to help just set your makeup. This powder works for any skin type and it works for oily skin. If you have like fine lines under your eyes, you want to use a thin concealer. The concealer you may be using is like a little too thick, and it's natural for us to have little lines. I have some. That's why I love our concealer, because it's very thin and not heavy. Right before you set your concealer, I'll go in with my brush and just pat out any of the little lines and then set it with the powder. Because if you just set it with the powder instantly, and you have like little lines, you're just setting over the lines, if that makes sense. So try to like tap them out first. Nope, I just apply it really lightly. This is a quick everyday makeup tutorial. So I know sometimes you've seen probably pictures and like videos of like leaving the powder underneath the eyes. You definitely can, but when you're in a rush, there is no time for that. And this gets the job done without having to do that, because it will instantly set your makeup. So now, my favorite part is bronzer. I think bronzer and blush is so important for an everyday makeup. It just brings back warmth and color to your face. I'm using our Wannabe Baked Bronzer, and I'm just taking a big fluffy brush. When bronzing, it's best to do it in a 3 formation. So what that means is you always want to hit the high points of your face. And with bronzing, it's kind of like contouring also, so you're going to give definition back to your face. I do a little bit on my forehead. I do a little bit right under my cheekbone. And the key is to always follow the tip of your ear down to the tip of your mouth, and that's going to be like where you should bronze or contour. You could even feel it right underneath your cheekbone. So you see the difference? I prefer Sierra. I prefer to use a translucent powder on me personally because it's thinner. Foundation powders can be a little bit heavier. For an everyday, I like using the transparent powder because it is thin, especially in the warmer months. You don't want anything too heavy on your skin. And I feel like the transparent powder really gets the job done and it sets my makeup all day. So I'm just applying more bronzer. So with makeup, less is definitely more. I always pick some up and then I always tap off. You can always go back and add more. I believe in doing it very light hand and applying light layers, because if I just went straight in with it, it would look a little too muddy. And then we always want to go a little bit under the jawline, just to bring back some warmth. Yes, this is the Wannabe Mineral Baked Bronzer. I use bronzer all year round. I think it brings back warmth to your skin, because what foundation does is it evens out your skin tone, and naturally we have a little bit of redness. We have different shades on our face. So if you're just using a foundation, it could tend to wash you out. So I like to bring in back bronzer and blush. And actually, I take this bronzer as a trick for like an everyday. I take a little bit on the smaller brush, and I'll just put it right in my crease. And this gets it started for any eyeshadow looks that you want to do. Sometimes I'll just do this curl my lashes, put on mascara, and I'm good to go. This just brings back a little bit of color in your eyes. Yes, the bronzer does come in a few shades. This is a really great bronzer, the shade that I'm using for anywhere from fair to medium tan skin. This is amazing. If I was on a deserted island, I would take bronzer with me any day. So now I'm going to use another mineral product. This is our Bootylicious blush. A lot of people are scared of blush, but you have nothing to be scared about. Blush is great. It brings back color to your cheeks. It can be intimidating because it is bright. I like to pick some up and tap it off. And I do that a few times. And with blush, I just kind of fake smile and apply it to my cheeks and bring it back. This is in the shade Bootylicious, this blush. It's a really pretty pinky peachy tone. You see the difference? It kind of just lifts up my cheekbone. And again, I just apply it to my apples and my cheeks and just bring it back so everything is really seamless. I love our mineral blushes because they do have a little bit of a glow to them. Nothing heavy like glitter, but it gives you like a little bit of shine, which is nice. So let's do it on the other side. I just love seeing the difference blush gives you to your face. Now it's very easy to go heavy-handed with blush. That's why I love these bronzers because the initial application isn't like bright pink. It gives you like a really subtle color, but if you ever feel like you go too heavy, this is like your magic eraser, your foundation brush. Don't put anything else on it. Just go back on top and tap over just to blend everything, and instantly it will tame it down so it's not as bright. The foundation shade I used was 140. I normally use 105 in like the winter. Now that it's the summertime and I'm a little bit more tan, I go up to 140. I love liquid and cream blushes, Christina. Sometimes I'll do that over this, or I'll just choose a powder. Okay, so we did blush. So now let's do a little bit of eyeshadow. That's why I love our quads. This one is the Color Boss Quad in Workaholic. Has really, really great neutral shades. This is perfect for an everyday, like absolutely perfect. So I'm going to take first this shade over here. This is in the shade, I wanna make sure I have the right names because they're flipped. This is in the shade No BS. I don't know if I can say the right word, but I'm going to take this right in my crease. Just like how we did with the bronzer, but it's a little bit deeper. And I'm using a dome-shaped brush. So in circular motions, right in the crease. This is going to give definition back to your eye, which is perfect for every day. Now, some people like this for an everyday. If you wanna go like a little bit smokier, this is when this shade is perfect. I take a tiny bit on the tip of the brush, and I'll just apply some right to the outer V, right over here. You never want to apply this all around because that's just going to go more into a smoky eye, which is great if that's the look you're going for. But if you are looking for something really light for every day, just concentrate it right on the outer corner. I like doing this because it lifts your eye a little bit. And then same on this side. I love these palettes because you can create so many different looks with them. I love neutral shades, so I love this palette for an everyday. Now you can leave this as is, apply some mascara and you're good to go. However, if you like a little bit of shimmer for an everyday, I love this shade. This is Carry On, and I take my ring finger. I like applying shimmer shades with my ring finger because it goes on really, really smooth and super pigmented. So I'll apply this right to my eyelid and instantly you get a really nice pop for an everyday. This is such a pretty color. It instantly makes your eyes pop. And I'll take some right on the inner corner. And actually, sometimes I'll even use this as highlight. So I'll even take it, my finger, and apply right to, let me see if the light catches it, right to the top of my cheekbone, because it's such a great champagne color. And this works great as a highlight, especially when you're on the go and you want to multi-use products. This is a great way to do that. Okay, and we're almost done with our everyday look. Next step is mascara. This is our Icon mascara, which gives you really, really, really great volume and length. So let's do that. I, every day, have to put on mascara, even if I'm not doing, sorry, it's really hard to talk while applying mascara. Even if I'm not doing a full face, I always apply mascara. And I got a little bit on top, but if that ever happens to you, just let it dry and then we can flake it off. Because if you rub it when it's wet, it's just going to get really messy. Let me grab my mirror. Using your fingers is a great tool. So I just like to really get in the root and instantly makes your eyes pop. I have lashes that don't curl, nothing works. I always curl my lashes because they do fall. Maybe try really holding your curler for longer. This mascara is great. It really does hold up. Again, this is our Icon mascara. So I'm just going to do the same on the other side. Now this mascara is super lengthening. I'll turn to the side so you guys could see. That way you guys could see how lengthening it is. Now I love to apply mascara on my bottom lashes. Just so it makes my eyes really open. And now that this is dried, you can just go and flake it off. Or rub it off in my case, and it instantly comes off. That's another really good trick. Sometimes when we're in a rush, we apply it so quickly that just gets messy. Just let it dry and you can flake it off. The palette is called Workaholic. I was naming the shades, so one of the shades was called Carry On. But this is the Workaholic palette. Okay, so now we just have lips. One of my favorite products is the waterproof lip liners. If you want something that stays on all day, definitely use a lip liner. This is in the shade Coffee. It's a really nice peachy nude. And then I'm just going to top a little bit in the center with the Glory lip cream. This is a long wear lip cream. Now, with liquid lipsticks, I always recommend just tapping a little bit in the center. Sometimes when you just swipe the whole thing on, it can feel very drying. These are very lightweight, so I just tap a little bit of the center, and then I'll go back in with my lip liner and just add a little bit more. This way it stays on all day. Now I prefer more nude, but you can use whatever shades you like for an everyday. I like something that's a little bit more brown nude. Now to finish the look, I go back in with the spray. We've used so many powders and products. I love this spray because one, it's going to make my makeup last, and two, it just brings back, it makes your skin look like skin again and just rehydrates everything. And instantly just gives you back like a really healthy glow. Nothing like too oily or too wet. It just intensifies, especially the highlight, and just gives you a little bit of glow. And yeah, that's the finished look. I'm going to stay on for a few minutes just to answer a few questions, so feel free to ask. Let's see. Thank you, Paige. So if your mascara flakes, Laura, I actually have that issue. Sometimes I just see mascara fall. You have to set your under eye. If you're not setting your under eye, that's probably the reason why your mascara is falling. It's weird, but if it's like, if your concealer is still creamy under your eyes, I feel like the mascara falls and just sticks to your, like your cheek or under your eye. Definitely set your under eye with a powder. I like using our transparent powder, but I think that may help you. Thank you. The blush is great. Sorry, I'm trying to answer all your questions. Thank you. I'm so glad you guys love it. The palettes are great, especially the quads, because they only have 4 shades, so it's great for an everyday. Sometimes I won't use shimmer. I'll use more of the darker brown shade, like as an eyeliner, or like underneath more as an eyeliner. So you can like mix and match and create your own looks. Yes, the lip liner is waterproof. This is the waterproof lip liner in coffee. This blush shade is really great for tan to like dark skin tones actually, because it's very rosy. So it will definitely show up on your complexion. Thank you. Yes, definitely try it out. With makeup, it's all about trying different things and seeing what works best for you. And sometimes, a lot of the times, it's just practice. Thank you. For brows, sometimes I do use our, let me grab it really quickly, just to like brush through my brows. This is the Hypnotize Fill and Fix Brow Shaper. So it's a tiny little brush just to add like a little bit of color to my brows. Thank you. It will be recorded, I believe. Yes, it is being recorded, so it'll be posted afterwards. The brow product is our brow product. This is the Brow Shaper. Oh, thank you. I want to thank you guys all for watching and joining. Definitely take a look in your email because Il Maquillage will be sending you guys all a special offer for joining this class. And yes, it is being recorded and it will be posted after for you guys to rewatch if you had any other questions or if you missed any steps. So thank you again for joining. I hope you guys learned some new tips and tricks and definitely try them out. It was so nice meeting you guys all and have a great night.